to order. This is a special meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission, Monday, May 11th. And roll call as we come to order. Show Ann Eslin and Chris Major. And Annie Oaks.
15 seconds to spare.
You are right under the wire. This is awesome because now we have a quorum.
Are we not going to have more people? We don't know.
We don't know. They could be coming late. They may not know that it was 1 o'clock because that we moved it from 1 to 2.
Why did we do that?
To make it easier for them in their childcare for school.
Yes.
So, yeah, but we can at least do business. This is a special meeting because we did change the time from 2 to 1, so we cannot make changes to the agenda, but I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
I second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed? Agenda is approved.
Are we recording? Recording's on.
Yep, we are live. The minutes for April, we just weren't able to get done for this meeting, so we will have those to approve in our June meeting along with May. And I see that reports, no action. Do you know, is that something that was new or just needs to be part of our?
I think it's just what's already preset in
Okay.
Civic Plus, so I can remove it from the presettings.
Okay, yeah, I don't know that we've ever had reports. We always have,
Yeah.
you know, or we've always had them at the end, like if there was a staff report or probably just a staff report.
Okay, I
So
can go
unless,
review.
so at this time, are there any reports that the staff has?
We created a new plaque for Annie Aslin for her seat. We created a packet for her as an introduction to Historic Pres, and we had a historic preservation blurb that you sent over that was added to the mayor newsletter for May. So there's a little highlight in the back.
Which I think said Ann Alson.
Yeah, it was spelled
Oh,
wrong.
with Aslin instead of,
Aslin.
Alson.
oh.
Allison?
Yeah.
That's okay.
We know who it is. Still.
Apologies.
That's okay.
And that concludes my report.
Oh, we've got a new administrative assistant or,
So we have Josh at the front desk, and then we onboarded a new one today, which I'm sure Mayor Beasy will announce most likely tomorrow.
okay.
Yeah.
New staff. Awesome. So the first item that I wanted to spend whatever time we needed at this meeting was the CPG grant proposal. So I will give a little bit of background. Of course, Michelle was here last month. She gave us an overview. We decided that maybe the best use for grant proposal for the fiscal year FY27 would be to look at doing a historic survey of properties that would help us maybe expand the historic district, identify properties that are now eligible because they're over 50 years old. That we could also target education and outreach to, and maybe gain grassroots support to increase the number of properties on our local register, possibly do an overlay district of the historic district to create a local historic district that would give us, I guess, the power, the oversight of changes within that district, or for properties that would be in the district. So there are a lot of reasons why it's a great idea. And I think we had the CPG support of doing that. So what I know Annie has already started kind of filling in some background of the grant, I understand.
So a little summary.
I reached out to 2 organizations, one Northwest Vernacular, another a local consultant group, to get an idea of how much it would, the budget would be. So I've got at least one person. I didn't hear back from Katie Chris from Northwest Vernacular. But Ann Sharpie, who owns a consultant company in Spokane Valley, is interested. Talked to Michelle about what a possible scope for the survey would be and is working up numbers.
Ann is doing that.
Yes, the consultant.
Yeah.
Yep, that Ann. There's a lot of Anns.
I know.
going on there. So we've got that.
That's
The
good.
mayor has approved the idea of going for a grant. So she's just trying to coordinate a meeting with her, Bridget, and Michelle, just to go over what administrative support that would be. So hopefully that will be in the next week or so, plus possibly also in the next week to 2 weeks, we'll have a budget. So I would be sitting down with Annie when all that comes in, and then we will develop the proposal, which is due the end of June. The timeline for it, I think, would be we would get word if we were selected or not in September, October, which would give us the opportunity to put out RFPs, identify a consultant. But the actual work and the funding wouldn't be until January 1st of 2027 and would go through September, I think, when the final reports and the final fiscal report would be due by October. At least that's the timeline that I'm familiar with, and unless there's some state funding that might, delay a little bit when the project money can be spent in 2027. So in the packet, what I would like to do is, if there are any questions or concerns about the grant proposal, let's talk about that now. But also in the packet, there are 3 maps that Michelle, since we don't have GSI, a free GIS, Michelle went to Wizard, which is a state program, and pulled up things that she thinks would be a good idea to do the survey. So let me share with you the letter, an email that talks about what these maps are.
Okay, you got it. Oh, this is great.
So it's Ann Sharley. She would be considered a consultant that would have to respond to an RFP, though, to be selected.
RFP again, just for,
Request for proposal. So we can't pick whoever we want. We have to put it out there and let
Yeah.
people respond and choose the most fiscally responsible for the city. So there are 3 maps. The first one, which shows the entire city of Millwood. That one.
Not this one?
That's
This one?
that one. Yep. So up on the screen,
It's on the screen, okay?
which is a lot easier than trying
Yes.
to see here.
so
All right.
historic district is in blue.
Yes, so the blue properties are the contributing properties to the National Register and state historic districts.
Yeah.
All the yellow dots are any property over 50 years old that would qualify for being nominated for a register. And then the red dots would not qualify. So the Department of Archaeology and Historic Preservation for the state has already identified those red dots, those properties, as not being eligible.
For not old enough, or,
Right.
For some other reason.
well, that's handy.
So Michelle has 2 suggestions. Because of the number of properties that would, to do a survey of the entire city of Millwood would just be prohibitive for a consultant and also for the budget. So she sees this project taking 2, 3, or even 4 stages if it's something that we find value of. So she's recommended 2 potential surveys. And I think potential 1 is kind of that hatchet looking. Yep. So she's potential 1 has 177 properties that would be surveyed. And then the next one, of course, potential 2, which has about 188.
I'm still trying to orient myself to,
Okay.
so the green line is, Trent.
It's a railroad, I think, isn't it?
Right, so this is our current historic district.
Right,
So this is the Union Pacific Railroad, so this would be everything, and there's the park.
and the
Argonne
red,
is
that's
right there.
Argonne is red.
So this would be the area that's pretty much right.
To Trent and,
Between,
yeah, there's West Valley is in that area outside the boundary.
so Euclid to Trent.
So Rick's Carpet.
That's on Trent, that red line
Yeah,
is Trent
so
that
this
she's
is,
following.
yeah, so this is Trent, this is the Safeway,
Uh-huh,
Walgreens.
yeah.
Clinic. So if we did, yeah, Argonne, so just on the other side of the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at all of these, there's the Millwood Kindergarten Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Is your house on there, Chris? You see your
No.
house?
oh no, mine is like,
We're farther
yeah,
down.
Grace, kind of down here.
Okay, mine's way down.
So
Okay.
that is one potential, and then the other potential, go back to that, is here's our historic district, and it would just be extending it this way
To,
To Vista?
to
Vista.
Vista. So that's Euclid to Vista to the river,
okay.
I don't know why that makes more sense
and
to
then
me.
going north. That's kind of what I thought too, because it would just be
Yeah,
extending the historic district.
right.
Mhm.
And that would be 172
She got 177.
or something like that. So probably the same. Practically the same.
Or and 188. So there's not much difference between the two. So we could decide maybe which way we want to go. Is there any advantages or disadvantages for one or the other? Or I guess, if we wanted to do a different section, like everything all the way down to the railroad tracks this way, we could also determine that ourselves too, but I don't know, Michelle's done all the work to
Yeah, I know.
look at
that's-
this and
Well, and with her expert eye.
So you're doing nothing east of Argonne right now?
nothing, correct. We could possibly, because it's our decision,
Mm-hmm.
we could extend it just enough if we wanted to, this way to do City Hall, because with City Hall and
Sure.
the city park,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how old the water tower is. But if we wanted to include the municipal, building and properties, that's something we could just extend ourselves if we wanted to include that in the survey.
And are any of these, like, they do include the park?
Not in the 2
No, no,
potentials
no,
that
no,
she
no, no.
suggested.
Because that would be Joseph's house also.
Right.
It's right across from the, which is a separate thing.
So if we, sorry, Brady, we're gonna have you go back to that whole entire town.
Park's been there forever.
So if we wanted to, like, do maybe this section,
Yeah,
but then also just kind of carve out this maybe to Grace and add another 30 properties or something like that. That might increase the budget.
mm-hmm.
But if we did want to include City Hall, and that was something that Michelle mentioned too, that sometimes when you have the municipal buildings, then the city can say, well, we're on that register.
Now, there's a
Yeah.
red dot right there, is that because of the new fire station? underneath the yellow dots that we've
Yeah,
got.
that's
Oh,
true. I'm not
Is that-
sure. That could be, or maybe this building back
Maybe
here.
it's this,
Yeah.
yeah, this building. I don't, it's interesting, but I think the city hall should be included myself.
That's kind of a, cause it's a 1962 or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. Also, the park, didn't the park used to be a dump?
Yes.
Part of
Yeah.
it? Yeah. So it's
We
been there
played in the park.
forever.
I mean, I ate tar out of that wading pool when I was little.
Well, and there are
So-
pictures of Shauna
Yeah.
in the wading pool. Mayor.
Yeah, the,
And if
I
we were,
don't know about the water tower when that was built.
that might be more recent, but 50
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Still, it's pretty.
But we could even just do that street.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah,
yeah.
the city and the street to be included.
And those houses below it. Down, like down.
Going
Yeah.
further down.
Yeah, to the trend.
Well, if we get too big of an area and still want to do
Yeah,
Yeah.
this, then
Oh,
that
right.
might
yeah.
kick us over
We don't
our
want to.
budget.
We don't want to
Mhm.
overwhelm our consultant either.
You can always add on for another grant.
Yeah.
And Michelle did give us, in this email, a link to several surveys that have already been completed. And because this is a copy, you don't have that link, but I can. Could we forward the email that has the active links, or is it been?
I can forward it. I don't know about the download part if it's cloud.
Oh, okay, but yeah, if you could just find those links and then send out a link to the commissioners.
I'm CC'd on this, so I have it.
Okay, so it would just be
And
maybe Ann and Colleen and Alex.
well, that's really progress.
Yeah, it's really a neat map.
Gives us some choices and it's just a good visual of what we have so far.
Mhm.
And the potential for, like Ann said, the next grant. And also, I think with people like East Empire, our crowd down there, if they saw this being done, I think they would appreciate that quite a bit. It's in motion and we're getting there. It's a
Okay.
big project.
So
Those
we,
houses on Empire are older than most of these houses on this side of,
That's
The
true.
river, they
Mine's
are.
1947 or 1949.
yeah,
My house, and then there's a 1970s house. There's an older. There was the original farmhouse to the east of me, but they had a fire in the massive reno. But yeah, there are a lot of houses there that are coming up for their 100-year decal this year. So
yeah, well, they were all workers at the
yeah,
mill.
with the big lot,
Yeah,
which I just mowed, which I'm very well aware of the big lot.
yeah.
But it was, small farms, and that is such a documented part of Millet's history.
Mhm.
So,
I know our house on Stout was built in 48 or 49.
mm,
The guy who built it was living in the basement for a while and built on top of
oh,
where his family was living.
those are corner Stout. And,
Stout and Grace.
yeah.
So that's just a block up here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they were all built about that time.
And was the street name the same?
Stout and Grace.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's always been the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, very interesting.
so would our recommendation be to do the map with potential one? That would just
I think so.
extend the
Yeah.
historic
I'm
district
happy
area.
to be happy
Yeah,
with
I
that.
think
And then-
that sounds good.
Include City
City
Hall,
Hall.
City Park,
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's important.
and Frederick going
Frederick.
down to
To the end of the park.
something like that. Okay. Awesome.
Good.
Any other thoughts about this?
When you were speaking earlier, you said, you used the phrase, I lost it now, that it would give us clout, but also, do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I was trying to find the right word, but it would require, if we created a local district, but you have to have property owners approval to be
Mhm.
in the district, but if we did create the district, then they would have to, when they did any changes to the exterior of the house, they would have to file a permit with
Just
the
let
city,
us know.
which would trigger review by the commission
Oversight was the word.
oversight.
So what would that include? Is that what you just said?
Yes,
Yeah, like.
and
so
that would
any-
be exterior, that would have to follow the Secretary of Interior standards.
Which is, which are very reasonable, actually, for
Yeah.
what we're talking about. We wouldn't be able to build a 3-story high-rise or,
Well, you've not had any trouble with the historic district here, have you? With,
No, I think some of the buildings have been, like I know the King residence and stuff, they've been very sensitive
Mhm.
to the historic nature, though there might be a pole barn building or somewhere in
Yeah.
there that.
there was an issue with the building that was painted on brick. It was a business, it's a business.
oh, yes, I remember, I
Painted it
know
all
that one.
white.
Mhm.
And they got an offer of, an invitation to learn more about
Yes.
what the services or the resources we can offer, but it's still white.
Okay,
It wasn't a strongly worded
No.
letter, it was just it was at first, and then Chris revised it, so.
Trying to soften things, be a little bit more tactful.
Yeah, very
Okay.
much, very much, still to the point.
All right, well, it's great, then, Bridget, you at least have some of that information when you meet with Michelle and Sean if I'm not there. But if it works out that I can be there, I will.
Yeah,
Sure.
we'll try and coordinate all three.
Okay. And, yeah, we'll just get this grant in by next month.
Yeah, let's-
Before I leave, I'm going on a trip the 22nd. So,
June 22nd?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that gives us time.
I think so. All right, so we'll move to action items, which are just updates on some of the projects that we've got going already. First one, local register nomination. I know that you finished that, Annie.
Mhm.
Were you able to get it to Joseph?
Took it to Joseph, handed it to Betty at the door.
Okay,
I asked Joseph for his reaction. He said, it was very brief, but he said, there sure is a lot of history there. So, I guess the next step is to get him to come over or what?
right. He would need to come over to our city clerk and file the form. There is a $50 fee. We did check, the mayor and Bridget and I checked with Brian about any way to waive that fee. There is none.
Okay,
Because they're set to cover administrative costs. But it would be acceptable for a third party, an organization, something like that, to pay the fee if it was prohibitive for Joseph. My thought is, and if, he says, oh, $50, that's
$50
Just
is
too
$50,
much.
yeah.
but what we can do with our budget is that we could buy the plaque.
Right,
So if he pays the fees,
that would be way more than $50.
Yeah.
So we took it out of our budget. I think he would like that.
and then that way, yep, he'd get a certificate, he would get the plaque, which is what we've done with our previous properties that we've added to the local register. I think that is something acceptable that we can do with our budget money. But it would be on him to pay that $50 filing fee.
I think that would be fine. Does
And
it have to be seen by Brian and the planning commission, city council?
No, in fact, I need to get with Bridget to, once he files it, then there's a process where the staff needs to do a report, and I don't have blank forms, but they should be somewhere, where it's, the staff report will go through, put in the information from the nomination. They will double check the dates. You will match, because there's a list of criteria to be nominated to a local register, you just make sure that it fulfills one of those things. Once that's done, then you bring it to us, and then we set a public meeting where it can be reviewed and we vote on it. So there are several steps, but it doesn't have to go through city council or the planning commission. Once it's filed with the city, it's the clerk to us, and then we have a public meeting where anybody can voice opposition or approval of it.
And they would get a chance to review the nomination form?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And then we would vote on it and you would recuse yourself. But you could still make comments.
Would Alex have to recuse himself since he did the site report?
I don't know, because all he did was look at the building structure.
Right, in the basement.
Yeah. So it's not that he
Good.
really wrote anything up or, I don't think so. And if he did, then we'd still have a
Still have
quorum.
a quorum, yeah, good. Good. The thing that haunted me all the way through writing the nomination was, well, first of all, there's one of the headings doesn't fit. It says, physical description, and it's gone on to the narrative. And I tried for like 2 hours to get it to go, and it wouldn't go by the way it was supposed to. So that could be fixed. That's on the form, so.
So the digital form that's on the website.
Can I ask clarification on what location we're talking
We'll find
about?
it. I'll
for
show
records?
you in the,
It's like section 8,
yeah, it was section 8 that is physical
the
description.
nomination form itself.
Just to clarify, is this
Yeah.
pertaining a certain location, house, for minute purposes? To go back on the meeting?
Okay, what's the question again? So,
The local registration nomination, what house are we talking to
so that would be
pertaining this?
the Joseph Meriden house, which is just right across the street,
Which we're calling the Woodard,
Bartles.
Bartleson House,
Mhm.
9212. East Street.
9212, okay.
And that's if he brings it over and files it. It's in his hands now, and
Yeah.
if he chooses not to file it, then.
Okay, to make sure we have the right
Joseph
record for
Meriden.
when we create minutes.
He's been asking
So,
us
we can refer back.
farmer's market for like
Thank you.
5 years to get his
okay.
house. So the thing I was talking about was, at the top of one of the pages is a header. It would not let me have a different header when the topics change. So that's just a formatting problem. We can show you what page it is. It's like 8 or 15 or something. One thing that haunted me was, I remember someone saying at one time that the house was made of cinder blocks, which is not what we came back with from Alex. So I wanted to check, I don't know, maybe she was not talking about that specific house, but it was someone who's very knowledgeable in history, and I just wanted to have a chance to run that by her. Just to, so, cross our Ts and dot our Is.
I think we would just take the nomination form by
As it
itself
is,
as
yeah.
merit,
Okay.
that we don't know any other, at least I don't, all the other
No.
background. So we would just view the form
Okay.
as presented. All right.
Were you in touch with Bartlesons? Have you been in touch with
No, I
Bartlesons
don't
at all?
know anybody. Other than, there's a section of it about Don Bartleson being in the fire department for basically his whole life,
Mhm.
and even as a volunteer after he retired.
Okay,
So no, I don't know.
cause I see one of the grandchildren on Facebook,
Oh, good.
so if you need more information there. And his mom was, yeah.
Well, I used, oral history, I would definitely, enjoy. I've used newspaper articles and things that were published in the paper, so
Yeah.
formal,
Mhm.
informal, but oral history is certainly
That's
a
wonderful.
great source.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, we wanted them to know about the nomination in the report anyway.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think when
Yeah.
it comes before review, if
Yeah.
they have any input, they'd
Good,
be
good.
welcome to come and
And
contribute.
I checked like the dates of their marriage, the dates
Mhm.
that, the kids, and you should get to read it.
Yeah. It's all happened, I haven't known about, that's great,
Yeah,
good research.
so,
And thank you, Annie. I know you put a lot of work into that, and
this took a
it's
while.
taken a while, like a
Yeah.
year, but
That's good.
At least at the next farmer's market. he doesn't have
you
to-
could say,
we
well,
can-
he got his decal, and
Yeah.
now he's got
got
his
his nomination.
nomination.
Yeah, but he's been very persistent about wanting it, so that's appreciated. Someone's serious.
Yes, yeah.
Hmm,
Know a few other people that have historic homes that need to be as persistent.
Yeah.
All right, so moving down action items, preservation brochure, that's Colleen. I don't know if she, since the last meeting, said anything to you or requests for pictures or,
I haven't had anything
okay,
from her yet, so.
that's fine. Also, she was working on the Millwood Trail signage, so we haven't seen any updated examples to review on that. But I can reach out to her with an email just to see if she could even forwarded it to Bridget and I. And so if she's not able to be here, we can at least review or keep that moving forward.
I'm just recalling, I just feel it needs to be said that we worked on that since 2017.
Oh, yes,
And
a
we
lot.
worked on it. There were some things that would transfer to a plaque or a sign. Certainly would benefit from revision, but there's so many that were ready to go.
Yeah,
They were ready to go. And the company they were going to determine the size, the shape, the content, what was visible. They were gonna give us feedback. So to change it for reasons that maybe aren't that, the font size or the font style, that's someone's personal preference and not necessarily what the sign company is gonna do anyway, is gonna override anyway.
Right.
So-
And Colleen acknowledged that in a previous meeting that she honors the content, the research that went into it. It was her job just to do some formatting and design to make it work. I will remind the commissioners that all the work that you and Vicki and Bobby put into it, the signs that you see on the trail have already been edited by Christina. So she reformatted, she worked with the sign company to do some editing. For however their final thing is, they got up the ones that they did. So I think we tasked Colleen with taking the content of those 3 signs that we were still missing and trying to get it as close to what was out there, but maybe even better. So that's what she's been struggling with on top of everything else that she's
Well,
been
Ann
doing.
Ann was part of that too, which I
Yeah.
just wanted to mention that.
Yeah.
This goes way back.
It does. So we'll keep plugging away, but we do have it in the budget. I think she was very close to having them ready to go to the sign company. We clarified that when we have the design, we turn it over to Public Works. They will do an RFP, or they'll find the sign company that
Okay.
the city will select, because any purchasing will go through the city. It's not something that we will do. But if the sign company that is selected needs to edit, at least we will have the most current digital file that they can work with and the best images and stuff like that. So, but I'll reach out to Colleen to see if we can't get those files to us to review before June, so that we can get them purchased and installed this summer.
That'd be
it
great.
works, yeah.
I know for the historic district signs, I'm also thinking that this is not something that Colleen was designing herself. I think over the years, we've looked at pre-made
Yeah.
signs that historic districts use that could attach to a lamppost. I would suggest, since Public Works needs to order and purchase, that maybe could this be a project that we turn over to someone in our Public Works department? Just say that we've got money. Our intent was to get brown signs that attach to lampposts in at least the 2 corners on Argonne of our historic district that would just acknowledge that we do have a historic district. So it would say Millwood Historic District, they would be brown, they would, look compatible with design. Would that be something that's
I can ask and get back to you on that.
just
I
defined?
don't know if only what they would be able to do is the install part. So
But they would have to order them too, through purchasing, right? I mean,
we can definitely research that and see what they can and can't do with that, and then I can get back. I don't know the extent of how much.
they could do or not.
they can do, and with summer, it's getting pretty busy, so.
Well, and
Very
we could
nice.
look in the website, we come up
Yeah.
with examples and say, these are the signs that we
Yeah.
want, this is what we want to say, you guys have to buy and order them
Yeah.
and install them, so.
Well, two is not, is, I thought we were doing six, so two is better than six.
Well, we decided that we wouldn't do every single corner just because of the cost. And there might not be the poles to attach them on the kind of the backside. Whichever road that we would
On
put them
Liberty
on.
Yeah,
But at least on Argonne, we know that it gets traffic, it gets visibility.
so Argonne and
We had
Liberty,
one,
Argonne should,
yeah,
6 would be nice.
or even
the next two.
4.
If you're gonna do it, 6.
That's what I thought,
Yeah.
yeah. More is better.
Yeah, because you may not get back to it again.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, and we'll have to
Yeah,
see how our
see how
budget
our
goes,
budget is.
because when we budgeted last year, I know price of everything has gone up.
And I'm gonna keep it.
But Bridget, I can work with you on that, if we take some meeting, you guys have a meeting, or you just want someone to sit down and say, this is kind of what we're thinking, what can you do, what do you need from us?
Yeah.
And we
Then
would
we can-
really appreciate it.
I can definitely see what the extent of what we can do on that side is
Okay.
and what they have time for too, so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll follow up with that.
All right, the 100-year recognition decal mailer, Annie proofed the letter that went out. I think Josh did the mailings to the properties we identified in the historic district that didn't already have a decal. So 100-year properties that were getting this decal. For 2 years, we have been alerting people that if they wanted a decal, they would reach out to us.
Mhm.
And then last month, we decided for at least contributing properties in the historic district, since we had names and addresses, we would just do a direct mail with the decal.
Mhm.
And then, I think it also said that if they wanted a certificate suitable for
Yes.
framing, then they were to contact City Hall,
Yeah, that
and we
was-
would provide them. I don't know if anyone has reached
not
out
heard
to you,
anything come
probably
out yet.
not. They're probably looking at the decal going, what the heck? But hopefully, some of them did make it onto windows. But we decided to do that. There might be a few more properties that will qualify next year and in 2028. So we only did properties that got 100 in 2026.
And how many went out?
14 or 15?
How big is that decal?
I think it's around 14.
14.
Sticks in the
That's
window.
what I'm thinking
And
too.
that was all of Millwood?
No, we just focused because we had the addresses and the names for the historic
Sorry,
district. But again, we were hoping that through talking about it in our newsletter and,
Mhm.
continuing to
Okay.
promote it, that more, homeowners
back.
might reach out.
We had an M&A newsletter also,
So,
yeah. So,
Have one?
in the M&A, the Millwood Neighborhood Advocates
Okay,
newsletter.
yeah,
we also
okay.
had that. And an article about historic preservation month. And we are doing things.
we are doing
Your commission does work. Do work, so, good.
Good.
Okay, for ordinance change, I have not done anything further on that, but I will, it is on my list to reach out to the chair of the planning commission to see if they would support looking at, changing the recommended updates to our ordinance language that Northwest Vernacular recommended when they helped us with our forms back in 2019. So,
Good.
and that would make it easier for property owners and for us to form a local district too. So I think it's something that we definitely want to do. It might take a little bit longer. The Main Street program, I've not been to a Main Street meeting the last couple of months, so I was hoping that Alex and looking at the minutes, the grant that Colleen was writing, that would help promote some things along the Millwood Trail that would tie in Main Street down here in this corner. We did not receive the grant for that. And they were working on a logo and a motto for the Main Street program for Millwood. Those were things on their agenda. And for Historic Preservation Month, we've already talked about a few of those things. The mayor did put it in the mayor's newsletter. Said that he put some things in the MMA newsletter, which is great. The mailing that went out to the properties in the historic district also took place first of May, and it did promote May being Preservation Month.
Mhm.
I still don't know if we have a reader board. I never get to the front.
I never look.
I never look at the
I
front.
did, we don't.
We don't, okay, so
Okay, thank you.
There's nothing. There's a nice little sidewalk going up.
Well, there was a reader board, but there's not any longer.
Construction took that out.
Yeah, so we won't worry about that. Okay.
Get a nice flag, you know, like one of those tall flags that people have, like, you know, crystals here or oil changes here. Historic preservation.
Oh, yeah.
Well, something that we could consider if we budget for next year is to get some of the trails, the banners that go on the trail signage or on Main Street that would just have May, Historic Preservation Month.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And we put those up at the end of April and
you
come
bet.
up with
Yeah.
those
Would look
Easy
nice.
peasy.
before they get kicked off for the farmer's market.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again, just to get,
Mhm.
keep it in people's
Yeah.
minds, so. Remember, when we start talking about next year's budget in the fall, that, yeah, banners,
something,
trail
banners
banners.
for something,
Do
yeah.
that. To budget. Okay, that concludes all of our discussion and action items for agenda. Are there any comments from the commissioners?
Not, we already commented on.
Okay. Yeah, I can't think of anything either.
Then we should get going on the grant.
Yes. So now that we've identified the area, I can get back maybe to Anne, Charlie, so that, and Michelle Thompson, that that's the area that we identified, so that she can adjust her bid numbers.
Oh,
Or
great.
specifically, that would help us with our budgeting. And then,
And that's the budget for the grant.
For the
So we'll
grant.
know how much to ask for, okay.
Yeah.
Is it a matching grant? Do you
no,
know?
no match is
So, yeah.
required this year. And we do have Kennewick as an example. She
Oh.
did attach
Right there.
in that email, yep.
Okay, good.
And it seemed fairly straightforward for the grant. It's not a really multiple page. A lot of it is to have the reason that you're doing it, and then spell out a timeline of the work scope and the budget.
Okay.
Turn that in.
Just kind of want to do my own little walking tour to see what's there besides City Hall because you drive by there every day and you know some of those are historic. It's just which ones and the stories behind them.
Right, or how much they've changed. So, yeah, it might show up that they're over 50 years old, so eligible, but then you look at the house and if there's been too much change, too many, insensitive additions, things like that.
Are you talking the houses on the south side of Frederick? When you go down the park, are you on the south side of Frederick?
The homes would be included. Yeah, south
The
side.
homes on
South
both sides
side.
of the street?
Yeah, I think that's what it's
Okay.
showing, isn't it? All the way to Trent.
No, not all the way to Trent.
No.
We would
No.
probably,
Just go
the
Frederick.
end of the
Oh, to Frederick to, what street is that? Willow.
Locust. So this is Maple. So Willow, Maple, I think that's Locust.
Yeah.
Locust,
Locust.
okay. So Argonne to Locust and, railroad tracks
Yes.
to,
Both sides of
Frederick.
Frederick. You've got a Bartleson house there, and she was the daughter of, you've got,
Somewhere in there is,
yeah, you've got some older homes there, but
okay.
And then this is just step one,
Mhm.
then we can
yeah.
always expand it in future years. All right, so setting our next meeting would be the second Monday of June.
8th.
June 8th, and I'd suggest we go back to 2 o'clock. Because school and childcare, I mean, school shouldn't be an issue, though childcare might still be, but that way we'd have a regular meeting, not a special meeting.
Right, and I think it was nice that we made the concession, but, to do it again and again, it's not feasible.
So June 8th at 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And yeah, in the fall, if we need to reconsider the time based on childcare or your teaching schedule, Annie, then we can certainly do that.
Okay, so, oh, I already had it on there. Oh, how did I know? So 2 p.m.,
2 p.m.
June 8th. Gosh, June, seriously?
I know, well, look at May.
I
Here we
know,
are.
I'm still getting used to May.
Goes fast.
All right, with the meeting set, entertain a motion to adjourn.
June 8th, are the kids are out of school then?
I don't know about
I don't
I think
think
they've
they're
got
out of
another
school.
week to
Yeah,
go.
they've got another week.
Yeah. I moved to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Thank you, Chris.